Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's popping?
That fake sick voice.
LeRon has that sickness.
Yeah.
Sorry, LeRon.
It finally happened. It answered my question of whether or not I was completely asymptomatic to the whole COVID thing, because it's been going almost 3 years now, and I had not caught it yet. And yet, Thanksgiving, I was like, we're thankful that we're giving you COVID.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Go figure.
Yeah.
It really happens at the weirdest times, and with some people you try hard, and do your best, and then one day you'll just randomly get it for like no real high risk reason.
And Stephanie, you and Corey saw like the weekend I was having too. It was great until it wasn't.
Yeah.
You were punished for having a good time.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. That's
That's what happens, man. That's what happens. That other voice you hear is the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Hey, I am also sick, but not COVID at this time. Not COVID.
You look super less tired than you normally do on this podcast.
I have makeup on, so makeup sore.
Oh no!
Your energy has to match the makeup.
Well, no, it's just without the makeup, I'm pale and I'm like, bleh. But no, I'm also kind of, I'm exhausted, but I think I'm riding a little bit of a high because I can talk about it later, but I had one of 3 massive presentations at work to leadership last night, and it turned out it went very well, and several executives have, forwarded along praise to me. So I'm just really happy that I didn't fuck up in front of all these bosses of my boss's boss.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So also joining us is, should we call him the World Cup champion?
Not yet, man. World Cup's not done yet.
He's the World Cup expert.
Yeah.
Wait, how is Serbia doing?
Look.
How is Serbia doing?
We have to beat Switzerland on Friday.
Okay, and this is what? This is top 16 right now, right?
No, we're still in the group stages. So Friday is the last day of the group stages. So a lot of countries have already booked their tickets into the, knockout stage, the round of 16. So
like USA is in 16, right?
Yep. All we have to do is beat Iran, and that's what we did. We did the bare minimum.
Good shit.
1-0.
Stoy,
The bare minimum.
tell Corey and LeRon the fun fact about the Iranian team.
Oh yeah. So the first game that Iran had, they, part of the process of the World Cup or any international competition, they play the national anthems. The camera goes right into everybody's faces, and some people don't sing. A lot of players sing, and the whole Iranian team didn't sing their national anthem once.
Really?
Yes, it was a show of defiance, because if you haven't been listening to the news, the police are actually there's mass protests out there for females in there because they have to force wear a hijab, and there's what do they call that, content police there, where they're literally if you're on the street in Tehran without a hijab as a female, they will take you and drag you to jail. And apparently the protest started where they dragged the woman to jail, and they killed her.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like not wearing the hijab. If you're not wearing it properly to a certain etiquette or standard, they will snatch your ass up.
Yeah, for sure. So the players are doing this. The mass protests are happening, like both men and women are out there in full force. You should see some of these videos. Like, it's crazy. But so right before this last game, the Iranian government actually apparently told their players that if you do not sing along to the national anthem, we will harm your families. Like, it's pretty fucking bad.
And just a note to every American audience member, stop fucking complaining. We are allowed to kneel, and a lot of people are offended by that, but at least no one's saying I'm gonna fucking kill your. Well, I hope no one's saying I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No one in the government is saying they're gonna kill your.
No, the
government,
yeah. Thank you for the correction. I'm like, hold on, there's a loophole. No one in the government.
Fuckhead ass fucking civilians that say that shit, and it's like, really, because I will visit onto you whatever you visit onto me. So watch yourself, motherfucker.
Yeah. So that's that's kind of crazy to think. Like, obviously, like, you know, if you choose not to sing, you choose not to sing. That's your
Right.
prerogative. And I've had this conversation with various high school athletes in the past few years over this kind of thing. And, you know, some choose not to sing, some choose to sing, and that's totally fine. That's their right. But, you know, we live in a nation where we have that right. Some nations do not. And, you know, the government force, like, actually, I just found out after the victory, a man got killed by the police in the street for honking his horn and saying "Go USA." That was it. That's all it took.
Wow.
That's all it
Wow.
took. Dead. Like, crazy.
Wow.
Anyway.
So, again, but with my revised statement, thank you, LeRon. I was just like speaking faster
Oh,
than I was thinking.
no. I knew
Speaking passionately.
I knew exactly where your head was at.
Okay,
but,
thanks.
You know,
It's
like,
like-
we always have some dumb a-hole that's listening out there that takes it literally for what you say.
Yeah, so idiots excluded. We're just talking about government-wise. Like, our government has lots of corruption and lots of stuff that sucks. But you know what? At least they're not out to execute you if you don't agree with something.
Yep. So
That's all I'm saying.
true.
Yeah, like even those, like, just case in point, even those guys that mobbed the Capitol on January 6th, they're all getting jail sentences. No one's gotten a freaking, like, execution sentence
Mhm.
yet.
yeah, they
Nobody.
they just convicted one of the Proud Boys, or is that
Two of them, two of
one
the
of their
highest
leaders?
Yeah, one of the leaders
Yeah.
and one another higher official.
So good. They will get their comeuppance. On a good note, you know, so we're seeing some good soccer. We're seeing some good teams. You know, some good games. Japan beat Germany. That was a really good game. And you should actually see the Japanese fans. They
They're
all stay
awesome.
after. They all stay after every game to clean up the stands. Even their soccer players, they leave the locker rooms spick and span, spotless. They even leave little
Wow.
gifts for the
Wow.
hosts.
Wow.
What was it? Saudi Arabia beat Argentina, but
That was
unfortunately,
an upset. That was an upset.
that was
right?
a huge upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Argentina, Saudi Arabia is out. They just booked their ticket home. So each player after that victory, each player
Suck on
apparently was
this.
given a Rolls Royce from their government.
Suck on that, MBS.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Australia booked their ticket today. They beat Denmark. Yeah, they beat Denmark today. Yeah.
Nice.
Some good games. Some good games.
Nice.
So
Nice. Well, Stoy, I'm glad you're here. We don't get to
good to be
podcast
here.
very often, so
Yeah.
you know. Speaking of people that are here, we're gonna shout out our patrons. You can support the Boss Rush Podcast and our various other shows over on Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can subscribe at specific tiers and get specific perks at those specific tiers. Our $1 tier, you get early access to 5 separate shows. And at the $5 tier, you become a Patreon producer. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast are Adriel Munger, Always on Deck Comedy, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian Skipper, my wife, Sana Deary, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons, and I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just provide you with a few perks if you subscribe. Also, we're going to be adding a couple tiers pretty soon. More information on that at a later date. Very excited about some of the things that are happening. Also, we did move our store to TeePublic until they emailed me today and said that one of our designs
hands down
violates some sort of legal whatever.
Ooh, which design is it?
It was the vertical BRM logo, the Boss Rush Media logo.
Why?
They said it looked too much like the Atari logo, and that there was a copyright strike from Atari or something, and so
A strike or a claim?
Hold on, I saved the email.
A strike means they're going to take legal action against you if you don't do something about it. A claim just means, hey, like, we're watching you.
Hey,
Wow,
don't
really?
do that.
Let's see.
Oh,
Violation.
Well, that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned, through podcasting.
Violation of terms and conditions. This is
Okay.
to notify you that as a result of a violation of our terms and conditions, we have removed or disabled access to the material that appeared on tpublic.com/bossrush network and have
Okay.
deleted your account.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a bit much.
So my question is,
I know.
can you appeal that?
I did. I did. But you
Uh-huh.
have to email legal@tpublic.com. There's no other way to
Okay.
contact them.
I'm pretty sure if you're emailing a legal something, you're going to get a response maybe not snappy, but pretty quickly.
Well, I emailed them yesterday, and I still
Okay.
haven't heard back. So
you probably
because
You're probably here.
I spent like probably half of a day uploading all of our designs.
Gosh, I'm sorry. That's a real pain in the ass. I mean,
It is.
I
This
hate
is
to
the
say
second-
it, but like, look at us. We really think we're trying to copy anybody and we're making
I know.
loads of money?
Especially Atari.
Jeez.
I mean, you guys have seen the vertical Boss Rush Media logo, right? It just says BRM with a D-pad and some buttons on it. Like there's
Hey.
no.
Hey,
Yeah.
T-Public, guess what? I didn't think of Atari once when I looked at that, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, it probably took me like 3 or 4 hours to upload all the logos and tag them correctly and choose the colors that would look best with it and stuff. This is also the second time they've taken down our account, by the way. I didn't tell you guys about the first one because the first one was only 2 designs. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
which is annoying.
Wow. I might be
Well,
having.
you know what? No. You know what? To an extent, I think this is probably a good thing, at least legal wise. They want to make sure that people are doing their due diligence. And nobody can get sued.
Yeah, but
know?
then you know what they suggested to me to buy? A Crash Bandicoot sticker from some random person. So
Which is probably got some type of licensing on it.
it doesn't. This guy just has like random designs on there.
Okay.
And like on all the designs you can see how many like of each thing they sell, and like the only thing that sells are the things that are clearly ripped off. So
Gotcha.
this guy's
Gotcha.
store.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I don't know what I'm gonna try to find another store that seems to be a little less picky about what goes up there.
Yeah, you know what I got from T-Public? I got the Stray tank top. I highly doubt they license that.
Yeah,
A Stray tank top, okay? Please.
I know.
Sorry, I'm disappointed. I'm sorry that you went through all that.
It's fine.
What are the other options?
Well, there's Bonfire, which
Mhm.
Logan actually recommended to me. That's what his church group uses for their shirts. So, might do that, or there's a couple other options too, but we'll see. But the thing is like I run my Destiny podcast store through there, and I haven't had any issues. And one of our logos literally has a Destiny ghost on it, so I don't. I don't.
Atari must be up to something. Atari probably is one of those companies is kind of like Nintendo, where like anything and everything they just try to jump on. That had to be it.
Yeah. So
I had an issue using the Triforce once with T-Public years ago. When we used to make T-shirts for our Extra Life campaign, our team name was the Hyrule Sages, and I tried to put the like Nintendo Triforce on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was Custom Ink. Custom Ink I had this issue with. So like I took an actual Triforce made by Nintendo. They said no, you can't do that. So I went through their clip art. Custom Ink has their own separate clip art, and they had another Triforce, but all the triangles were linked together by a line, and apparently that was okay. Like not the triangles separated, but like if all the triangles were like kind of put together in one line, then that was okay.
How cheap did that look?
I mean,
I can't even picture it.
You know, if you stand 20 feet away and you squint your eyes, it looks like the real thing.
Okay.
So doesn't matter.
Oh.
Stephanie was wearing that shirt on Saturday.
I know, and you know what? I didn't go, oh, that looks like a knockoff Triforce.
Yeah, so exactly. So you tricked you, fooled you. Gotcha.
But that bar's pretty low. That bar is really low, Stoy.
It's just triangles. It's just triangles.
Yeah.
You can't copyright triangles. Nintendo.
Mhm.
No, but you can trademark a pattern of triangles.
No, you can't. It's so stupid.
Oh man, good times, guys. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, great.
Speaking of things that have gone wrong, Stoy, you wanna tell everybody what's going on with your
Stephanie, this applies to you too, because for those that recognize me, I'm from the EXP cast. We're part of the Boss Rush Network too, and we've gone through some changes. We introduced Stephanie, a godsend to our show, and so we kind of were like, oh, let's kind of gauge the feedback, like what are people interested in, what do people like, what do people dislike about us. Like, we've been around for like 4.5 years now, and I've never really done a survey before. So I was like, let's start out. Let's make one. We made a Google form, put all these questions on there, and everybody was cool with it. So within 3 days, yeah, it was. And within 3 days, we had 800. Oh, it's at 804 responses now.
Ooh.
We had 804 responses from some really suspect names. There's one email, samisnice69@gmail.com. That's an interesting one. So, there were some like write-in answers that I'm like thinking like, okay, I would say 90% of these are bots. So let's see. There's a question.
Did you do this on Twitter?
No, I posted it on Twitter. I posted it on Facebook. I posted it on Instagram. Obviously, I put it in the description of our show notes, when we posted the episode. So, yeah. So one of the questions was, is there something you'd like to see less or no more on the show? One of the respondents was, I'd like to see more of the latest intelligence. I'm very interested in that. Apparently, I would like to see more good recommendations and technical guidance.
Technical guidance.
I would like to see more surrounding facts. I'm very interested in that. Some useless news. Okay. That's an
Some useless news.
Yeah. Let's see. Discover the mysterious explanation. That's what they want to see less.
Mysterious explanation.
Here's what they want to see less of on our show. With video games as the theme of the topic. So they want less video games as part of our topic. Let's see. I like sports programs. I don't want to see the bloody scenes.
What?
We'll
Hold on, wait. Stop 1 second. Are you guys jousting on EXP Cast?
Bro, we've had to make some changes this year.
Yeah.
We've
We've
had to make
introduced
some changes.
cockfighting.
Yep. Yep.
Keep going. Please don't make me laugh too hard. Please don't.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's see.
Exactly. I'll start doing what she's doing.
I like to read long themes. Stephanie, there's one. There's actually one that's like a legitimate one here that I'll read later. Okay, what do you think the EXP cast can improve wrong? We can release the game faster. I don't want to wait too long.
Yes, because that's what the EXP cast does. We
Yeah.
influence release dates.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one. We have to provide a better user experience and optimize the player experience. Give us benefits from the game manufacturers.
Okay. I need to stop right here. I need to stop for a second. What game or franchise they think you're affiliated with? Because they're obviously answering these questions like you are part of a publishing entity.
So,
Seriously.
This person says he wants to see more extreme sports. Another comment. Hope can broadcast the medical program.
The
Say
medical
what?
program.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Let's see. Entertainment gossip and legal channels. Let's see. What was that one? Oh, the picture needs to be sharper. Okay, sure. We'll work on that.
I need to see all the hairs on Stoy's head.
Oh, here's the one. The bad can be deleted to keep the good Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Yeah, sure. Who said this? I have a feeling this is Pat right here. I have a feeling this is Pat that filled this one out. The discussion time of the game can be extended. That is definitely Pat.
That sounds like Pat.
That sounds like Pat. The price of more social media is low. So Stephanie, this one was interesting. Okay, one of the ones was, is there something you'd like to see less or no more on the show? And someone commented, this has been remedied already. Initially, I thought 4 people were too many. 3 guys would still be too much. However, 2 guys and 1 girl is a good combo. Stoy, Pat, and Steph, you are great.
Oh, hey, there you go. You have an actual organic response.
Do you know by the information if it's someone you know?
I'd have to look through it because you can actually see which email.
Oh, okay.
posted
Yeah,
this
no
comment.
need. I just wasn't sure if it was readily there.
I'm
But,
not
okay.
gonna go. I'm not gonna go. You know.
Yeah, 2 guys and a girl generally are a good mix. Those many prefer 2 girls and 1 guy. Just saying.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So, what people like most about us: professional programming, interesting content. I am a loyal viewer. My favorite topic is food game theme.
Food game theme.
Apparently, we're doing really good at food game theme.
When was that?
I don't know. I don't know. So, here's another one. I like food game topics best.
Oh.
Game.
Love those food game topics.
So
Yeah.
you guys got to start talking more about Overcooked and Cooking Mama.
Yeah, I guess so. We introduce random. We're doing that good. A game show that compares technology.
What?
My favorite is his video content. Oh my god. What do you like most about the EXP cast overall? The touching part.
Okay. This lets me know right now that you guys have launched your Pornhub and did not tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
No, apparently.
Stoy, we're having a conversation next week during Crossroads.
Okay, sure. All right.
Now we know why there's so many.
Wait a second. Wait,
comments.
is that what the rest was to get a girl onto the show? Is that what
That's
Stephanie?
what it took. That's what it
Touching,
took.
yeah.
Yeah, the touching part.
You
There's
know what?
touching.
You know
Here's something that's very
I'm
specific.
gonna hit
Here's-
markup.
No,
apparently-
he has but there's a difference. We have a sexual touching and a non-sexual touching. There's a difference.
There's a difference. We got to make that clear. Apparently, fashion review, we do that really good.
Fashion review.
About to release the game, the poet is full of curiosity and richness of abundance.
Richness of abundance.
Here's a very specific one. Southeast Wisconsin for the win. Stoy's random motorbike camping trips. I will be bringing that more to the show. Thank you very much.
All right.
So, anyway, that's I don't know. I can't take this seriously. This is just like some of these obviously are very specific and okay,
So
but a lot of these are just not good. Great fan service for monster fans. I can't take some of these seriously.
What?
It just sucks. Stupid bots.
Man.
I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, sorry.
Yeah.
We really actually wanted genuine feedback. I mean, we got some, but
Yeah, and that's the thing. I have to weed through 800 things and then kind of see what's legit and what could be legit and what's not. Obviously there's some very specific ones, but then there's also some really vague ones, apparently I've seen a lot of people that do not like our random introductions.
you mean like the cold opens?
Yeah, those cold opens. So we
Oh.
may,
I like those, but okay.
like this one, random introductions with no subjective thoughts on viewing. I think that's fake, but whatever. But yeah, so the content and plot are immersive. Some of these are good. I hate gratuitous news. Ooh.
Oh,
Oof. Okay, I'm gonna make some T-shirts out of these.
That'd be
Please.
hilarious.
Dude. Yes.
I hear T-Public is a good place to go to.
Yeah. Be careful though. They might copyright strike your words.
Okay.
Text. Helvetica.
Great show. Love it all. Great. Cool. Thank you.
Man.
Like a lot of the basic some of these are good. Some of these are so good.
You like.
if
Yeah.
if you start getting overwhelmed, I don't know. It seems entertaining, but if you do seem overwhelmed, maybe we can divvy up reviewing the 800 plus between.
I mean, a lot of these aren't long,
Okay.
So, I mean, you could just kind of scroll through these pretty quickly. Is there something you'd like to see less or no more on the show? No. Okay. Thanks.
No.
Not yet.
No.
No. The game. They want to see less of the game. Anyway.
Good times.
So that's fun. I guess I've never experienced bots of any nature. I thought this would be an honest, open discussion with our fans and our listeners.
You poor naive man.
Yeah, I was naive. I went in with rose-colored glasses.
Well, I wonder if there's a way you could do that with like almost like a password that you could put into put into Discord and say, "Hey, here's the password to our survey. Please take it."
Yeah, I suppose I could have done this with maybe, without Google or something like that. I could have used maybe a different software, but I know I requested an email. Like that's what I heard. Like with Google Forms, is like request an email and only limit people to one response, because like I didn't want the same person like answering like 20 times to try to increase their chances, because we were offering like a $20 gift card to a store, to a video game storefront of their choice. So it's like this is a weird thing to do for $20, but.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, Corey, I have a question.
No. What?
All right, fine.
No, what?
I'll answer your question.
I'm in the moderator mode right now on Twitch.
Yeah.
And it's being spammed with nothing but welcome to the chat room. You guys encounter that?
I do not see that, but also I'm logged in as Boss Rush Network, so I don't know. I don't see that though, to be honest.
The hell was that noise?
Someone.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
That was me.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It just kind of came.
That's
out.
okay.
That's what she said.
I also want to know. We have 498 followers on Twitter. Where the hell you people at?
Right.
Right.
Anyway.
Never in the audience.
Yep.
Man. On a good news, Turok is trending for some reason.
That's so random.
I know. I just opened Twitter. Why, you ask?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, good, because when Advanced Wars was trending, it was not the news I wanted.
Yeah.
Moving on to happy things.
I like no show.
Yeah. Everybody have a good holiday weekend before everybody got sick, apparently.
Yeah. It's
LeRon,
all right.
LeRon, you looked like you had a good time.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend, we spent the entire weekend up in DC. We left on Thanksgiving Day, so we hit the road around 2:00. Got there about 6 towards 7:00 in the evening, because we just kind of like leisurely drove. And then showered up, changed, went out to eat, and it's funny because for some strange reason, my boyfriend thought that, there was going to be places that open to eat out there. And I'm like, it's Thanksgiving Day. The only places we're going to be able to find food at is Chinese places. So he did all this looking up while I was in the shower. He's like, okay, I've got a few places. How are you feeling about this? And I was like, oh, are they open? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Let's do that. So we started with a taco place. We started with a taco place, a Mediterranean place, and there was one other place, and all of them were closed. And so while he's doing all the looking up, trying to see if he could find something, I was already looking for Chinese places. And of course, like every Chinese restaurant, imaginable is open. So I was like, hey, we're getting some Chinese food. So we start walking. As a matter of fact, the entire weekend was spent walking around DC, and I think that's possibly another reason why I got sick. But yeah, so we started walking, and we got right smack in the middle of two Chinese places on the opposite corners and stuff like that. And we looked at the menus real quick, and he was like, can we see what's going on down there? We were literally like a block away from the Capital One Arena in DC. So I was like, sure. We walked over there, and then we found this restaurant called Clyde's. They were open. They're basically, that was like a really upscale like sports bar. So we looked at the menu and like, let's do this. And yeah, that's where we were. But as far as like sightseeing and stuff, like we hit all the usual spots. Like we saw we walked to the White House, to the White House, the Congressional Building. The War Building, which is now called the Eisenhower Employment office something. I think commissioner or something like that. EEOC. We saw that and we're like, what is this building? Because in all my years living in the United States, I've never heard this building, and that's when we found out it was called the War Building, which is where like it was the building that was next to the White House, where like that was basically like what the Pentagon was before the Pentagon became a thing. Um, basically spent the weekend in DC all the way through Sunday. Went to the Natural Portrait Museum, which was great. We saw the Barack and Michelle posters. I'm not posters. I'm sorry, portraits, not posters. Jeez. Saw some wonderful sculptures. The highlighted trip for me was the Lincoln Memorial though. Like we went there at night, and man, I got some wonderful pictures and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, pissed my boyfriend off because my phone takes amazing night mode photos. So everything in the memorial had like detail, like even the walls where like like if you had to have flash photography on. I didn't use a flash at all, and we could read the Gettysburg Address from one wall in my picture, and then there was another wall that was like a giant mosaic of like I don't know if it's a speech or whatnot, but yeah, like I got when I say I got some wonderful pictures, like it was wonderful, but
Nice.
of course got COVID over the course of that weekend too. So yeah, there's that, and yeah,
COVID.
unfortunately he didn't miss it. He didn't miss it either. Like I had it. I started feeling bad as soon as we got to DC
Mm.
and had it for the entire time there, and I don't know, like I felt sick, but at the same time I couldn't tell if it was because my body was fighting, my body was fighting like the change in temperature because it was cold out there. So like I was thinking, I was under the impression that I did not have a fever. It was more like my body trying to regulate itself because like I was warm but my skin was cold. So yeah, so I get we get back on Sunday afternoon, and I immediately, like after I unpack and everything, I go downstairs and I grab an at home kit and I take it, and I kid you not, like when you put the 3 drops in and wait for it to hit the contact line, as soon as the liquid hit the
It
contact
lit
line,
up, right?
both lines, I was like, oh shit.
Damn, you got COVID hard.
Yeah.
They were kidding. When people say when you're positive, you're like fucking positive, like instant.
Yeah. So I immediately called my boyfriend. And I was like, hey, how are you feeling? And he's like, I'm okay. I'm like, well, I got some bad news for you. I'm like, I had COVID the entire weekend, and he's like, okay, I was hoping you weren't going to say you had COVID. And so this is Sunday. I talked to him on Monday. Like I went to go get a PCR test done to make sure it was confirmed, and I think I sent you guys the picture that it was confirmed through the PCR test. And I've been getting blitzed by the health department as well as the VA because like I'm a primary patient of the VA clinic. I've been getting blitzed by you have COVID, dude. This and that. Oh my god, I really want to die. But so Monday I check in with him, and he's still doing okay. And then Tuesday, first day back in class for him for teaching. Tuesday, I check with him in the morning, like, hey, how you feeling? And he's like, I do not feel good. And probably like an hour later, he's like, I took an at-home kit. I am now positive. I was like, damn, talk about delayed reactions. Because you were with me the entire weekend for 4 days, basically, and you're just now coming down with it.
Man,
Yeah,
that
but
sucks, man.
but honestly, DC was a lot of fun. DC was a lot of fun. The one thing we were in a nice hotel. But the one thing that kind of pissed me off about the hotel stay, I'm a very light sleeper. And we must have been on the busiest goddamn road in fucking downtown DC because I swear to God, it seemed like every 15, 20 minutes you hear some type of emergency vehicle going up and down the goddamn road. And it was like, come on, motherfuckers. And I'm not sure if it's because of our proximity to the Capital One Arena or whatnot, but Jesus Christ, like trying to sleep at night was a mess for me. Like he slept. He cheated. He took NyQuil every night.
Oh.
He cheated.
He knew.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, but I had fun despite catching my death out there.
Man, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
I'm kind of surprised you showed up tonight, to be honest.
There was a part of me where I almost called out because if anyone because there was no Crossroads last night. Stoy, I missed you, by the way.
I
But
missed you too, man. I was like, what am I gonna do? Guess we'll play video games.
hey, that there he is. And then I got a quick little show and tell, real fast.
Do it. Do it.
So waiting for me in the mail when I got home was this.
Fucking
Jetfire?
nerd.
It's a
You
yes,
fucking
it's a
nerd.
Jetfire. It's
Ah.
a Jetfire. Yeah, but it's the but what a lot of people don't know is this is actually a fuck up because Hasbro acquired the rights to the wrong machine,
Mhm.
and so this right here is actually a Veritech fighter right here is a Veritech fighter from the anime series Macross, which a lot of us Americans may know as Robotech.
Yeah. I have a.
So yeah, and yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have a G1 Jetfire, and it's all white, and I was like, man, I didn't know it came in a red variant, and then
Is it the fat boy one?
Mhm.
Because it's that one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is the one. And it's an anomaly because this one transforms into three modes. It has a robot mode. It has the vehicle mode, which of course is a jet. But it also has a hybrid mode, which as Robotech nerds know, it's called the Guardian mode, which that's how I have it posed right now, and stuff like that. But what's cool about this is an old friend of mine sent it to me, and he knew because we're both those type of nerds. He knew that when I was a kid, for my 12th birthday, my parents got me that for my birthday. And of course, me being stupid ass kid, I played the fuck out of it, wore that bitch out, the arms fell off and shit and stuff like that. And eventually, my mom threw it away because she was like, "Oh, it's trash now" and stuff like that. So he found this on eBay and he got it for me, and so yeah, I'm still half sick from COVID and stuff. I get home on Sunday and I see the box and I see who it's from. I open up the box and I almost fucking faint when I see it.
Ron's sick, and he's playing with his toys.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd. Stoy, Stephanie, did you guys have a good holiday? You guys have fun?
Yeah, pretty simple. I went to my parents first and then to my aunts after. We used to just do one thing, but then, family drama, especially the older generation, they fight and whatever. So I had to go to two places. But the nice thing about traveling or going to people's places, I didn't have to do any cooking. I mean, I helped my mom prepare food, don't get me wrong. I didn't just show up and be like, give me food. I helped her prepare the food, but it's not like I was responsible for hosting. So it's nice and simple, peaceful.
By the way, I saw the photos. I was like, oh, Stephanie's at the parents' house this weekend. So I'm glad nobody's murdered.
Yeah, my mom's talking to me. It's fantastic. I love it. It was actually decent.
That's great.
Trust
That's
me.
great.
If I don't get yelled at and it's just an actual functional day with them, and I make it sound like they're terrible, they're not. I love them, but just their parenting style and their personalities, it just happened to gel well. So I just could not be more appreciative that it was just a drama-free holiday. And then on the other days, because it's a long weekend, I played a lot of video games. Black Friday, I showed this on the EXP cast. Sonic Frontiers was on sale, so I got Sonic Frontiers. I was in no rush to get it, but it was I don't know, I forget. It was 10, 15, 20 bucks off. Also 20 bucks off The Last of Us Part 1. I want to play it before the show, but I wasn't sure. I told Mark, my boyfriend, watch it with me, and then we'll watch the show. But he's like, no, I want to watch the show first. I'm like, why would you watch the show first? The game came out first. So we're kind of arguing what to do first.
Oh, let me know how that argument turns out.
I don't think it matters. I really don't.
I don't think it matters either because the show is supposed to be very faithful to the game, but they did say there is some original licensing happening.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how it always is. Every time video games transcend into media, TV shows or movies or whatever, they always change something to give something a little bit fresh to the gaming audience. Like, you don't want the same regurgitated crap from the original game. You want something new and something different. So,
well, yeah, it's a very cutscene heavy game. So I mean, but he's like, I don't want any spoilers for the show. I'm like, but the game. Anyway, so that's that, and just my last bit of show and tell. This is just something from Special Reserve that finally came in, Gato Roboto, Special Reserve Edition, because all my pre-orders from I Am 8-Bit, Limited Run, and Special Reserve just take forever. I only got an email from I Am 8-Bit that the Stray exclusive edition has finally come in and they're assembling it now. I'm like, I want my games.
I want my games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my holiday was nice. LeRon. Oh, wait, no,
Mhm.
LeRon. No, you're talking about, sorry, you already went. Stoy, how was your Thanksgiving?
Well, I only generally have one Thanksgiving to go to because my family doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. So it's always easy for me because I don't have to juggle multiple parents or anything like that. But we celebrated Thanksgiving on Tuesday, and I always have this problem with my in-laws' Thanksgiving is that it's quick in and out. Eat, get the fuck out. Like, I'm just like,
Eat, get the fuck out.
can we just hang out for a bit? Can we just maybe chill? Like,
They're all business.
have a couple drinks. Like, no, we got to go to bed. Kids go, because it's my brother and my sister-in-law. Kids got to go to bed at 8:00. So you guys got to get out. I'm like, all right, see you later, I guess. And you can't show up early because nothing's happening here. I'm like, okay. Anyway, but on Thanksgiving, I did go to a bar to watch soccer. So, and the guy is British, so obviously he doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving either. So it's like, hey, are you going to be open on Thanksgiving? I want to watch some soccer. Serbia was playing Brazil, so I had to go support. I brought a crock pot full of shredded beef, so we had sandwiches. It was me, him, and one other guy. I think we just kind of showed up to watch a game and a couple games, and that was it. So
that sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah. So I went to a Friendsgiving the week before, and I don't know how this contest came about because there was a lot of drinking involved. You know how Friendsgivings go. And have you ever played that kind of like competition where you take those big glass steins and you try to hold them up, as straight as you can until your arms get tired and then you drop them? You guys ever do that? Or is that just me?
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of like an Oktoberfest tradition, because like Oktoberfest, you drink beer out of those big ass glass steins or whatever. I have a couple, but they're just way over there. So we all got to kind of holding them up, that way. I couldn't participate because I was 2 days out of a vasectomy. So like I was on a very serious weight restriction. So, but what they wanted me to do is they wanted me to provide commentary, colorful commentary in the most offensive accents possible. So I was like, do you want me to do British? Do you want me to do Russian? Do you want me to do Australian? Do you want me to do, like, one guy wanted me to do Chinese, which was kind of hard. There was like actually more people wanted British, if anything. So that was fun.
It's a lot easier to make fun of the British.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. They do it to themselves most of the time. So
yeah.
Did you ever see, there was a video that popped up to say like the difference between American sports chants and British sport chants? Like British sport chants, the Americans are all like, I believe that we can win. I believe that we can win. Get the fuck out of here with this. The British are like, your mom's a cunt. Your mom's a cunt.
That's awesome.
Like, it's good. Like, I was like, that's how you chant. That's how you talk shit as a crowd. So anyway.
Good times. Sports.
Good times.
Sports.
Yeah.
Sports. Love it.
That's all I did, honestly. I really didn't. I watched soccer. It's kind of weird because the World Cup is not usually on during this season. Usually it's in the summer. So, that's what I did on Black Friday. They had an outdoor event to watch the United States play England. That was fun. That was a really big event, big crowd for that. So,
Nice.
Awesome. We didn't really do much. We went over to my parents' house on Thanksgiving, and we had breakfast. Wow.
I also picked this
my
up. I also
God.
picked this up on Thanksgiving weekend. This was a Black Friday
my
sale.
God.
$20 off. I got a free charm. I got a free charm with this game. Don't tell me I didn't get a deal. You
Hey,
jumped
just
out
so
here.
you know,
It's a great
Stoy,
deal.
that I've got the British chant stuck in my head now. So just got
Oh,
that
okay.
in the back of my head.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, if all of a sudden that pops up in a random meeting and you start laughing and someone's asked, "What's on your mind?" Just say, no. Can't say it out loud.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Scream it. Actually, that's
Yeah,
how you do it. Just
Who
scream
knows?
it.
You may get people chanting with you.
I don't know. See you next Tuesday is not a generally accepted insult here.
No, it is in England. It is in Australia. Yeah.
Darn.
Anyway,
All right. So, I actually have a topic tonight.
Okay.
Stoy and I actually kind of already DM'd a little bit about it when I asked him to come on the show. And it's kind of about my frustration with how do I want to put this, Stoy? Nintendo technical issues, we'll say.
Ooh, yes.
no.
The
You just made
Pokemon
LeRon so
debacle.
happy.
The Pokemon debacle, the Bayonetta bullshit. Oh yes, let's go.
Yep.
It's just like
I would
Oh
say
my God.
shortcomings. I would say like they're coming up short. They're coming up a little short.
And Stoy, you brought up Bayonetta. I brought up the current string of Pokemon issues. And it's just like, I feel like this could all just be fixed with a little bit more power. You know, Bayonetta wouldn't look like a PlayStation 3 game. Pokemon, Pokemon Game Freak, I think that's just like a development issue with the
I was going to
arms
say,
going
so
like this.
can I ask a question to start?
Yes.
And this isn't for me to prepare to defend Nintendo by any means. I just want to understand it better.
Mhm.
Because when I think of Pokemon and Bayonetta, I do go, ooh, Nintendo. But if I sit back and think about it, you know, Pokemon is Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, and then Bayonetta is at Platinum,
Yeah,
right?
Platinum and Sega.
Do you think that that plays a role? Because I feel like a lot of first party Nintendo games don't come out like this.
Yeah. Well, I think for Platinum, I think like it's kind of frustrating because, you know, Stoy, you brought up that Bayonetta would have been a better game if it was on any other platform. But the other side of the argument is Bayonetta wouldn't exist if Nintendo didn't fund it in the first place, right? Like that's, you gotta, you know, here's one way and here's the other. I haven't played Bayonetta 3 yet, so I don't really know what it looks like, or I know like what I've seen in terms of trailers and stuff. Like anytime there's a big kind of like cityscape or whatever, it just looks like, I mean, you might as well just put that on PS2 and end of the day. But I think the character models look great. Like the normal character models, I think like the action looks fun, but when you get in these big open spaces where you can really like see the detail or lack of detail, it sticks out. And like we were talking on Pal Block last night because we were talking about Pokemon and how frustrating it is to, especially for a franchise like Pokemon, that they should be like, I know it's owned by the Pokemon Company and Game Freak and stuff, but like Nintendo still owns some sort of stake in the Pokemon Company, which is why it remains exclusive. And it's like, Pokemon as a franchise, you should be taking care of and making sure every release is on par with a Mario or a Zelda game. Like,
Right. It's like
I
they
would-
don't want to QC it the same way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I would agree with that, but we have to look at what 15, 20 plus years where it looked like the same fucking game.
Yeah, and well,
Like
I mean,
it just now started breaking out of its shell, and that's sad because like what generation are we in with Nintendo now? And I don't mean generation.
8,
I don't mean Pokemon. I mean
7 or 8.
Nintendo hardware. You know.
7 or 8. I would say my thing with Pokemon too is like, it's just we've had 7 Pokemon games in 2 years, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that's not including the duplicates like the like Scarlet Violet, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, right? We've had Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, we've had Pokemon Unite, Legends Arceus, new Pokemon Snap, like a remake and this new one, and there's one other one too that we were talking about. But it's like, why do you need 7 Pokemon games in 2 years? I get the brand sells, but like, guess what? Zelda sells, and you don't get a new one until every 5 years. You know?
Yeah.
There's so much.
Didn't
there's so much
Arceus
to
come out
say.
this year?
Yeah.
Didn't Arceus
January.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, it's. I mean, it takes like 20 years to make a fucking F-Zero game, but goddamn, are they putting out 2 Pokemon games of the year? Jesus
Right?
Christ, Nintendo.
yeah.
And looking just real
2
quick, since you
Pokemon, 2 Pokemon,
mentioned
3 Kirby.
Arceus, that is a much better functioning game than Scarlet Violet. Like, it's not like
Same developers.
That's saying something because it wasn't Arceus kind of trash.
I mean, I haven't really paid much attention to what people were saying about Arceus, but look, Arceus won Game of the Year for the Golden Joystick Award, so it can't have been that bad.
Yeah.
I think people were overhyped thinking that was going to be the ultimate open world experience, which it wasn't necessarily. But if we're talking about, again, yeah, sure, the graphics were a little muddy, but there was definitely not even a fraction as much as the graphical glitches and stuff that we're seeing in Scarlet and Violet. And I'll admit, I almost kind of wish well, actually, I don't care that I sold it, but like, I like Arceus better than I like Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. The thing too is like, I've played a lot of games on Wii U and Switch over the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years we've been doing Nintendo Battle Block, right? Like, I've been played a lot of games on those systems. Right now I'm playing Nier Automata, right, on the Switch. It looks great. Like, it looks wonderful. There's nothing lost. There's literally no graphical fidelity lost, I feel, in terms of, because I played a little bit of the Xbox One version when it was on Game Pass, and I just didn't stick with it. But then, like, you look at the Switch version, I'm like, there's no distinguishable difference between that and the Xbox One version. And then you look at something, even something like Mario Odyssey or Donkey Kong or pretty much any of Nintendo's other first-party games. Even you look at something like Skyrim or Doom or The Witcher, right? Yeah, they're not the prettiest versions of those games, but those games, like, there's some technical wizardry going on over there. And then you look at something like Pokemon, which is literally funded by Nintendo, right? It's just like, what is this? This looks like a 3DS game.
Here's what I'll say about that. The people that do these ports, you can tell the people who are wanting a full-time gig. You can tell when you look at some of these ports and look at how amazing they turn out. You can tell the ones that are hungry for a job and the ones that are phoning it in. And I'm not saying that may have happened with these latest Pokemon games, but I'm just saying, like, welcome back to another episode of LeRon Hates Nintendo on the Boss Rush podcast. But here we go. I gotta say, like, we see a lot of complacency in the gaming realm, and it looks like right now it's Nintendo's time to be number one in the complacency like category and stuff like that. They shine with a lot of the IPs, they shine with a lot of ideas, and then they fail somewhere in the substance. It makes and I'm gonna say it, and you guys know where you can find me at. If not, I'll tell you at the end of the show. But you fans always let them have their run of it. Like, yeah, it's great that you guys are actually able to get refunds right now on this current run of Pokemon games. But I feel like this is an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the next time they're going to give you something that's a little bit better than subpar, and when you guys get outraged and pissed off about that, it's going to be like, well, hey, we beat your expectations this time, so stick with it, stuff like that. And I say this on every axis of the gaming sphere, like, because Xbox gamers, we eat our crow too, and I say we because I'm a PC gamer. That means I play most Xbox games through the PC. We eat our crow on that stuff. PlayStation. I'm one of the main people that turn around and will say, hey, like, this is some bullshit, like, do better, be better.
Yeah.
That's part of our slogan here at Boss Rush, be better,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But also, as gamers and fans and stuff like that, we have to be better also. We have to be better also in how we want our companies to work for us, stuff like that. Because we are always the first ones to turn around and say, all these companies aren't consumer friendly, but guess what? They will start kissing our ass when we stop being their consumers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm looking at the list of Switch ports that I've played right over the years. Hellblade is a great port. Dark Souls Remastered is a great port. Doom is a serviceable port. Wolfenstein is a serviceable port. The Witcher is a good port, right? Nier, it's just I'm looking at these games. I'm like, how did these games get to run on Switch like pretty flawlessly, in a sense? And you have something I just don't
Absolutely.
I don't understand. I don't like it, but also like I'm also frustrated with. I mean, I'm frustrated with Nintendo about a bunch of things. But
let me pose a question: what does Nintendo have for the holiday season in terms of new games?
well, let's start in September. They have Splatoon 3, Mario plus Rabbids, Bayonetta 3, Pokemon. And then they had a bunch of third-party stuff like Nier and Persona, and
Final
Fantasy
that's
comes out in a week.
And that's my point exactly. I wonder if they had a quota to try to beat some first-party games, for the holiday season, to kind of spur up those, those sales numbers for the system. Obviously, they noticed a dip once PlayStation 5 started to kind of hit a little bit more strides in production.
Mm-hmm.
Switch sales started to see that dip. So I wonder if this was Nintendo kind of trying to tell them like, hey, hit the gas a bit. Let's get this out by holiday so we can kind of hit those like fourth quarter numbers. And that's kind of once again
all
business.
Nintendo had to do.
Hey, business interfering with video games and just like kind of like the business model that. I mean, like I said, I said this hundreds of times over, and LeRon, you've heard me say this hundreds of times. Video games are a business.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really give a shit about what kind of game it is, just as long as it makes money.
Yep.
So this is kind of what it is. We'll put it out. It's reached 10 million sales within the first 3 days, completely blowing God of War out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And God of War is a technical achievement in mastery. And you got this broken game that still sold 10 million copies. Nintendo's like, cool. We got our money. Good.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, PlayStation, like when PlayStation sells like a game lifetime sales, they boast about the 10 million sales of a game, right? And I think the God of War 2018 is their best-selling game of all time or something, their best-selling first-party game of all time, and it's sold 23 million units. Mm-hmm. And, Nintendo can put out stuff. I mean, not that some of these games are bad, right? But like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold, between the Switch and the Wii U, has sold 58 million units.
It's disgustingly high. Holy crap.
Animal Crossing New Horizons is closing in on 40 million, right? And then you have something like this broken Pokemon game that probably by this time has sold at least 15 million units, if not more.
What are the lifetime sales of the Switch right now?
113 million.
Okay, because I was literally sitting here thinking, where are they finding all these people to buy these games?
Yeah, because they just passed the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
or they're approaching the PlayStation 4 or something. They either just passed it or they're about to pass it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And sorry if I missed this. I had to step away for a second and not to talk more about Pokemon than Bayonetta. But I mean, I've had my struggles with Pokemon as a franchise because I was there for it 25 years ago when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just, A, I grew up, and B, there are so many Pokemon, some of their ideas were kind of lame, so I walked away from it. And the only reason why I kind of came back to Pokemon was because my son was getting into it. New generation, okay, maybe I'll hop back in. Arceus kind of changed the formula a bit. But just the fact that even the Pokemon that they're making, like Wiglet, I still am haunted by that stupid ass.
Did you see the broken thing? Did you see the broken animation of that? Where it landed?
I saw that.
Where it landed between like a trainer that wasn't even supposed to be in the whatever, and like it just wiggled on out of his pants.
Called,
but, like,
it's
dick
called
slap-
Diplet.
Yeah. I mean, between the uninspiring designs and just the quality of the game, I just hate the fact that they know that they'll make money, so I feel like they're okay with making these shortcuts, and I struggle with it. Pat shared this great video about what Pokemon fans feel when they play this game, because for me, when I'm playing it, I get angry. I'm like, this is stupid, this is horrible. But then I'm like, oh, you could do this. Oh well, I like Meow as a cat and whatever.
That
And like,
Mighty Keep video like nailed it perfectly in the head.
Ugh.
Perfectly.
trust me, I hate myself when I'm like, oh, I didn't need to get another gym badge. Even though I know the game's like crap, and I'm mad at myself.
Yeah, I tweeted something out the other day. I was like, man, I know people seem to not care that Pokemon's having technical issues, but like, I don't understand how the dev team did not catch these bugs that should be fixed. And somebody replied, they said, well, Game Freak's not a big team. They didn't have enough staff to do it. I'm like, you're the fucking Pokemon company. You have one mobile game that makes you $2 billion a year. Staff the fuck up.
And you can't hire no goddamn people?
God, it's like...
Yeah, I heard that too.
That reminds me of that Cyberpunk video, like the game director that came out and said, many of these bugs you are experiencing, we didn't experience during playtesting. Like, bitch, did you play the game?
Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't experience these bugs? That's what I anticipated them coming out to say. We didn't see these bugs in game testing.
It's
like what? They just popped up out of nowhere?
Yeah.
It's like I heard something about Game Freak having like... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you're Nintendo and the Pokemon company. You're telling me you don't have enough people to hire like 20 or 25 extra people to
most
do
of
this?
These game developers like ship it out to third-party game QA testing companies.
Well, even then,
most game developers don't have their own QA department. So they'll ship the games out to like kind of third parties to say, hey, test this game, get back to us. Like I think that's like literally a requirement to like put your game out on any of these platforms. Like they have to go through a QA testing something.
Yeah.
So.
And like, I wonder if just because it's a Nintendo first party game, if like when it was submitted for certification, they're just like, oh, it's Pokemon, it's fine, or something.
That's probably spot on right there.
I'm just saying, man. It's like
people still buy that shit.
No, because I'll be honest with you. Like I said earlier when we started this segment, it was like we've had literally the same fucking game, for like forever. So we probably got to a point where I was like, oh yeah, it's Pokemon, whatever,
Yeah. And
now it's all shiny, because like. What changed the style of Pokemon? Was it Hey You Eevee? Was that the game where everybody was like, "Hey, you need to make a Pokemon game like this," And then all these new games came out. Like they had this new look. That's a new look and updated feel. That's a new look and updated feel, but still the same goddamn game, in my opinion.
Look, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is a much better Pokemon experience than I've had in any iteration after. I haven't played a lot of them, but. Those games are way better quality wise than some of the other stuff I've played. Granted, I haven't played Scarlet and Violet. I've only seen the videos and the funny GIFs and the people sharing stuff on Twitter and other social media platforms or whatever. But like, man, the stuff I'm seeing is just, it's silly.
For me, I just like wish I could at least have the funny glitches. I'm not even getting the funny ones. I just get the annoying stuff.
That's what you get for using Wiglet.
I don't have a Wiglet, just so you know. I did get Fido, the dog that's made out of...
Can you clip that?
Huh?
Can you clip that part? I don't have a Wiglet.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's okay. It's okay. Not a lot of people have Wiglets of their own.
And I don't like Wiglets, okay?
I don't like Wiglets either. I mean, I have a Wiglet phobia, if anything.
Only about 47% of us of the world have Wiglets, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and not to kind of talk about Bayonetta real quick too. It's like not that game had any like real technical issues that I've heard about, but like just graphically, it like it just looks old, and that's the problem with a lot of non-Nintendo published things, right? Even like, I can't believe I'm about to say this because I love this game so much, but when you look at Breath of the Wild, right? The art direction of that game is great, and I love like the environments and some of the stuff in that game, but like you look at Horizon Forbidden West, and I know I've brought it up on this podcast before, but like, if Nintendo had a console powerful enough to make Zelda look like Horizon Forbidden West, I would have 6 more kids.
Bro, there would be six. There would be 6 kids in my genes if that was the case. You know what I'm saying?
These guys are like the power of our boner would be too much for our wives.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. We'd get our own reality show. That's how many kids you'd be.
I'm gonna say it, man. If Metroid Prime came out looking like fucking Cyberpunk 2077, I would jizz in my fucking man for like a year.
I'm just saying, man. Like I'm tired of like having to always like. I mean, not that I like really want to, but like I'm tired of always feeling like I have to defend this console when I don't have to, for things that it's just. This thing is old. It's basically an Xbox 360 in an iPhone shell. Like it just, I get some power. It's not like this stuff is like super expensive anymore. Like even if you're aiming for a PlayStation 4, like a PS4 Pro level, like charge an extra $100 and people would love it. You know, like I don't understand. You know, I just don't understand why they have to be like this. Why do they have to be like this?
I feel like up till now, Nintendo, I feel could get away with it by saying, well, we are the masters of gameplay and innovation, and that's what we want to focus on.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Nintendo proper. Mario Odyssey, Zelda, Metroid Dread. I mean, Mercury Steam pretty much did great with Metroid Dread. That game was...
Mercury Steam is like keeping Metroid afloat, and I will appreciate them. The Nintendo fucked up. Nintendo fucked up when they let Embracer Group buy them.
Yeah, sorry, Stephanie, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
When Stephanie, I think you said it where it's like they consider themselves the masters of innovation. You remember how big they talked about the whole like HD Rumble and their little Joy-Cons and like all the different applications you can use with it and everything. How many games come out with those kind of features or those kind of like identifiable user abilities? Like
did you not milk the cow enough, Stoy? Did you not milk the cow enough?
No, I didn't, because that's the hardest mini game in that game. Trying to get those fingers to do, I can't do that. So. But 1-2 Switch, good tech demo, actually showcase what you could do with it. And this, the same thing happened with the Wii U, with the whole gamepad. All of a sudden, Donkey Kong Country Freeze comes out and says, no, we're not even using the gamepad function. It's going to be blank. Even like the Wii, it was like they kind of really tried to force motion controls to the point where it actually broke a lot of games like Skyward Sword. Like not a lot of people played that game because... it forced motion controls, and not a lot of people were into that.
I enjoyed motion controls playing Monster Hunter 3, though. I did.
Oh, I bet you did.
I was that nerd with the freaking samurai sword with the
Come here, you wackaloos! I'm trying to. Are you trying to do this?
I think the difference between Monster Hunter and Zelda, though, is
I don't know how Monster Hunter 3 works on the Wii, but I imagine LeRon going like this.
That's about it.
I feel like when
tune into the live stream so you can see what the hell I was just doing.
No, I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna put it on social media.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put it right after that. Stephanie saying I don't have a wiglet.
Okay.
I think the difference between like Monster Hunter and Zelda at that point though is I think when Monster Hunter came out, it was a Monster Hunter at a time when Monster Hunter was still kind of niche, but also like motion controls were still a novelty at that point. And then when Skyward Sword came out, everybody had some sort of motion control, and everybody who wanted to play like quote unquote real games was just over the motion control stuff.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I played.
I mean, the motion controls destroyed Star Fox. Like,
yeah, I was
100%.
so excited for Twilight Princess, and I got it on the Wii, but I also had it pre-ordered on the GameCube, and I stopped playing it on the Wii and just waited for the GameCube version because I was already over the motion control stuff.
Yep,
I hated the Wii. I hate the Wii so much, except for Wii Sports.
I never actually played the Wii version of Twilight Princess. I only played the GameCube version.
Oh, really? The Wii version is the only one I played, and I didn't mind it.
I really wish I had gotten the GameCube version of Twilight Princess. I don't know why I thought I was going to trade in my GameCube and get Twilight Princess on the Wii. I don't know why I thought that.
I might not have a Wiglet, but I love my Wii.
Oh,
flip that one too.
Make sure you put that strap on.
I may not have a Wiglet, but my Wii is not.
Yes, you need.
I love playing with my Wii.
Hey, Mom. Anyway.
Anyways, that I just wanted to.
I'm still imagining LeRon waggling his Wii mode, trying to play Monster Hunter 3. I got that image burned in my head.
I used to be so righteous. Like I used to use the long sword, and I used to use the freaking gun lance. And man, trust me, like. Woo!
I just I wanted to express my recent frustrations with Nintendo because it's.
I'm always here for it. Whenever someone else has a beef with Nintendo, I'm always here for it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's and like I said, Nintendo hasn't learned its lesson. They see what's worked for them. They see that the Nintendo Switch is still like breaking crazy numbers, and to them, they see that graphics and having the most powerful system on the market is not going to spell success for them. You know, and they've always said, you know, outright that they are not competing with Microsoft and Xbox and the PC, or Microsoft, PlayStation, and the PC. You know, they're kind of in their own little wheelhouse. But I really think like I want to see Nintendo just come out the block with like, you know, maybe a PS4 or Xbox One X style system. Like, get with 4K, get with HDR. Like, come on, man. Just, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
join the club. Because like, imagine if we had Pokemon. We had Pokemon looking like 4K HDR, looking like you know, the Witcher 3 style graphics, or like, you know, Horizon Forbidden West, you know, style graphics, and the new Legend of Zelda. Man, oh my God.
Yeah. That's all. That's. Yeah. You know what makes me mad too is like they've actually done that for Zelda, right? The Wii U tech demo that came out the year before. Right?
Here we go again.
Man, they've done it to me twice now. They showed that stupid Space World demo, right, of Zelda in 2000 before the GameCube came out, and then we got Wind Waker, which, don't get me wrong, Wind Waker is a great game, but at the time I was mad. I was one of the people that was mad. Then you play it and you're like, oh, well, this is kind of fun, actually. So
I was mad about the Wind Waker, too. I was mad about the Wind Waker. Yeah. I didn't play it until the Wii U version came out, and I was like, damn, I really missed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wii version's a great game. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is like Nintendo's gonna keep doing what they're doing. I'm surprised they haven't announced 3 colors for December. You know, three colors for the Switch for December.
They did though.
Two base and one for the OLED. You know, I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Well, they have special editions. They have the Splatoon one and they have the Pokemon ones.
I feel like those aren't really the holiday promos. I didn't really see those.
No, the holiday promo is the dumb
Mario Kart thing.
Yeah,
and they give you a digital. They give you a digital copy of it.
Yeah,
it's like $300. They give you 3 months Nintendo Online, Mario Kart, and the base system.
Wait, just 3 months?
Yeah, just 3 months.
Yeah,
I know that because I actually went last weekend to pick it up for a friend of mine. My friend kind of like comes up to me. He says, well, I think I want to buy a Switch finally. So I went with him to Best Buy and GameStop, and we bought a few things. Why are Pro Controllers $70?
Because it's
I don't know.
I thought they
Nintendo.
were-
They say Nintendo on them.
Hey, it's $10 cheaper than the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I know, but like you got the PlayStation 5, which has haptic feedback
The Switch
and like
the,
all the little functions and stuff like
the
that.
Switch-
like,
the Switch controller has HD Rumble and Amiibo functionality,
ooh,
but no headphone jack. So no
headphone
no
jack, yeah.
headphones. Can't
No
wear
microphone
headphones
on
Switch.
no microphone on there either. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good subject. Good topic.
Yeah. So, we're
trying to
actually-
watch other people play Metroid Dread is like frustrating, especially when, it's just like
It is frustrating.
You don't want to watch me play
frustrating.
Metroid Dread.
no,
is
because like I'm
frustrating.
watching them, like two of my friends trying to play it back to back, and they're like, "Well, if you think you're so good, why don't you play it?" I was like, "I played this already, man. This is your experience. I don't want to take it away from you guys, but goddamn, I'm gonna look the other way when you guys play this game."
Yo, let me just say this because my boyfriend he's got my copy of Metroid Dread right now, and
Can't be watching them play it.
yeah, I attempted to watch, and I literally had to get up and walk to the other side of the room. He's like, "What is your problem?" I'm like, "There's so much that's going on right now. I don't want to spoil the game for you." He's like, "What are you spoiling? I just started." I'm like, "That's the problem."
Wow.
And then so he stopped playing the game, and he basically stopped the game and saved his progress and put it back to the home screen. And now, when you turn Metroid Dread on the first time and it does the update, you get the boss rush mode automatically, right?
Yep.
So I just jumped into boss rush mode real fast and played the first 3 bosses, and he's like, turn it off.
I can't watch.
Turn it off.
No, yeah. So that was where it was. At the same time, they were trying to play Metroid Dread. I was playing JoJo Siwa Worldwide Party. Let's go.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're
Uniting the worlds.
we are.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh
though?
my
'Cause you were
gosh!
talking-
Come on, LeRon.
you were talking about some of the good ports you played.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch of ports for the Switch as well, like both of the Final Fantasy games. So 12 and 10-2.
Yeah.
10 and 10-2. Yep, I've got that. Catherine, Burnout Paradise,
Mhm.
the BioShock collection. I do have one really shitty ass port for the Switch. Mario 3D All Stars collection.
Well, that's universal. That's not like, that's not.
Isn't that kind of funny that the Switch is very well known for its ports
Mhm.
of 360
You know what-
and PS3 games?
You know what port is actually really good is the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 collection.
I've heard that.
The Portal Switch is actually really the Portal port is really good. Portal port.
Portal port. It's
Portal
not getting
port.
the RTX update though.
Nope.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast and at Boss Rush Network. You can check out all of our content on bossrush.net. Stoy, thank you for joining us tonight.
I appreciate it.
Missed your face.
Thanks for the invite.
Where can we find you?
You can follow me on the EXP Cast. We're a video game podcast within the Boss Rush Network. Stephanie's there too with us. She's
Hey.
actually right up there if you're watching the stream. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXPcast, and you can also fill out a survey to let us know what you think of the show. Like if you want to describe how good bad things we're doing, definitely.
Or if you want to experience more touching, I guess, or whatever
Yeah.
that comment was.
yeah, whatever that was, or if you want less gory scenes.
Mhm.
Definitely let us know if that's something that's up your alley. Otherwise, you can follow me on my personal Twitter as well at StoyMKE8.
Stephanie, where can we find you?
People can find me on the internets at Klimov, KLIMOV_author. Internet.
You could find me on internet.
Internet, Twitter, and Instagram. Articles on bossrush.net. I recently published a review on Legends of Tian Ding. I'll talk more about it maybe next week, but it's an excellent game. I highly recommend it. And also on EXP, just as Stoy said, and After Dark.
LeRon?
All right. As always, you can catch me on social media as well as YouTube, Twitch, and various gaming networks. just by looking up Exodus 803. Tuesday nights, me and my boy Stoy here. We're always doing our thing on the Crossroads Show where we talk about PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming and a little bit more in between. We're past episode 100 now, so like be on the lookout for future episodes where we have more guests and more interesting topics and things to talk about. Like next week, I will be talking about the Callisto Protocol because that comes out in 2 days, guys. I'm stoked.
You and me both, my guy. You and me
I'm
both.
happy. Hey, it might be the Callisto Protocol episode then.
It's gonna be the Callisto Protocol episode.
We got peer pressure Andre into buying that game too. Then
I thought that's all you've been doing the last few weeks.
and the Dead Space remake. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Steph, congrats on beating Magna Malo. You go, girl.
At first, I'm like, why isn't LeRon respond? I know you're busy, but I was man, that was tough. I was lucky I had Mark with me because I was just getting my ass handed to me.
Isn't he mean? He's a mean beast, isn't he?
Oh
yeah.
He's like pissed all the time.
Like his movement is crazy. But he's just a preview for what's waiting for you for the rest of the game because like if you think his movement's crazy, shit.
You should have seen me during a rampage though. I actually rather
rampages are fun.
No, I hate them. I was cursing the entire time. I was like, I fucking hate this shit. I fucking hate this shit. I'll never play Monster Hunter again. I hate this shit. And then I fought Magna Malo and it was hard, but I'm like, see, I can do this, kind of.
Fans of Crossroads will know that every time LeRon talks about Monster Hunter, I go into full, I'm making fun of LeRon mode. And I have since tried to turn over a new leaf and not do that anymore. But damn, does he not make it hard for me to...
Come on, you were just now like double axe handling. You know?
I know, yeah. That was a moment of weakness for me. Like, I'm gonna full,
Hey,
get over here, you Magna Malo. Get out of here. Let me grab my great sword and
Guys, help me.
Oh my God. Corey,
I gotta make some
I know.
potions and some
I'm
rhymes.
trying. You can find me at I am Corey and HC on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Nintendo Pal Block and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
sayonara.